You're watching Factory TV.
Hello, HD here. Today I'll talk about one of the greatest inventors of the history, Nikola Tesla. Tesla discovered or invented many things, but sometimes didn't fully get credits for. Number 1. Radio. Many people mistakenly think that Marconi was the inventor for the radio to this day. However, his work was based on the work done by Nikola Tesla. Tesla theory that the radio waves could transmit information as far back in 1893 in a lecture demonstration in 1898. Tesla demonstrated a radio controlled boat, which he dubbed teleautomation. That kind sounds pretty standard these days, but you have to understand that this was in 1898. The crowd that witnessed the demonstration was so shocked that they literally claimed that Tesla was using a magic trick or had a trained monkey hidden inside controlling the boat. When Marconi became world famous for sending the first transcript message, Tesla said the following: "Marconi is a good fellow, let him continue. He is using 17 of my patents." Number 2. X-ray. In fact, this is one of the interesting story of Nikola Tesla. X-ray were discovered by Tesla before Wilhelm Röntgen was credited for the discovery. In fact, Tesla took one of the very first X-ray photos. For some reason, after Wilhelm Röntgen claimed the discovery, it was believed that X-ray could cure the blindness and other ailments. Despite Tesla's warning that X-ray could be dangerous, Edison tested it on one of his employees, who after having his arm amputated eventually died from cancer. Edison also fired X-rays into one of his eyes during experiments. When questioned about it in 1903, Edison said, "Don't talk to me about it. I am afraid of X-rays." Number 3. Hydroelectricity. Tesla designed the first hydroelectricity plant that was powerful enough to light the city at Niagara Falls, proving the world that the waterfall could make the practical energy source on the large scale. A lot of people told him it wouldn't, but Tesla had already envisioned how a generator could harness the energy from moving water when he was still a child. People were shocked but were delighted to see his vision power the whole major US cities. Number 4. The earthquake machine. Tesla created a little pocket-sized machine that, when placed in a building in a Wall Street and set to the building's natural frequency, made the structure wobble so much that the steel worker came down to the ground in a panic, believing that it must have been an earthquake. When the police were called, Tesla put the device back into his pocket and walked away. Tesla claimed that if he had 10 minutes more, he could have laid the building to the ground, and using the same device, he could have dropped the Brooklyn Bridge in less than 1 hour. Tesla also figured out the resonant frequency of the Earth 50 years before the technology allowed the scientists to catch up with his discovery. And lastly, the Tesla Tower. So far, the previous inventions were things that made the reality, but one of the most ambitious projects of Tesla was actually a failure, although now it has become the Tesla's legend forever. I'm of course talking about the world famous Wardenclyffe Tower, otherwise known as the Tesla Tower, set to deliver free energy to the world using the world's ionosphere as a part of the transmission device. Or was it? The story goes that a financial banker, JP Morgan, shut down the project when he discovered it wouldn't make any money. This isn't entirely true though. Tesla had actually sold the project to Morgan as a wireless communication tower, not as a means of producing or transmitting energy. The financial backing from JP Morgan was only pulled when Marconi sent the first radio wave across the Atlantic, making Morgan change his mind. The project dragged on without Morgan and ran over time and ridiculously over budget until it finally collapsed. Aside from this, today's modern science says that the Tesla Tower wouldn't have worked. This is mainly due to the technicalities such as energy loss during the transmission and Tesla's misunderstanding of physics of radio waves. This was Tesla's first major failure, which brought him to the great shame. This would set him to the downward path that eventually led to the decline of the legend. More on this later in this video. Alright then, So we are almost at the end of the video, but before we begin to the conclusion, let's talk about the 4 facts about Tesla. Number 1. Tesla loved humanity. As a humanist, Tesla believed in improving the quality of the human life, but not for the financial gain. Here is a quote from Tesla himself. Money doesn't mean as much to me as it does to others. All my money has gone into inventions and to make human life a little easier. Number 2. Tesla envisioned the wireless internet in 1901. While Tesla was developing the transatlantic radio, he envisioned a system of collecting information, encoding it and broadcasting that information to the handheld device. This is basically what we have now as a mobile internet on our phones. Pretty impressive foresight for 1901. Number 3. Tesla actually lost everything at one stage as Tesla was working tirelessly and discovering many things about wireless energy transfer. His lab burned, forcing him to start his entire life work all over again. Number 4. Tesla may have had obsessive compulsive behavior and insomnia. Tesla claimed that he only needed 2 hours of sleep a night. It's unclear whether that was because he wanted to or because he couldn't actually sleep any more than that. Tesla was also obsessed with number 3 and uses 18 napkins to clean his dining table before eating his evening meal. He also detested round objects, jewelry, shaking hands and touching hair. As you can tell by the last fact, being such a genius and having a mind that was activated to such a degree can have some consequences. His great mind became his downfall. We have further many videos waiting for you. Please like, share and subscribe. For the another part of the story of Nikola Tesla, stay tuned. Goodbye.